For years now, lost media has been a hot topic on the internet. Typically, people have their favorite pieces, typically well-known pieces like Hitogata, Clockman, or Metropolis. Still, there are many more pieces that, while not as well known, deserve not only equal time in the spotlight, but just as much chance to be found. These are those pieces. This is lesser-known lost media.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and welcome to volume 57 of Lesser Known Lost Media, the show where we discuss obscure lost media that just doesn't seem to get its time in the spotlight here on YouTube. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the show. You can watch these in any order, and lucky you have 56 more of these to watch afterwards. Those of you returning, welcome back. We're happy to see you again. Now, how this works to all you newbies out there is that we will cover 5 pieces of obscure lost media on the channel, and the first 4 will be normal, average, safe for work entries. We'll then take a brief ad break, and then the 5th and final piece will be a little bit spicier. Now that we've got the intro out of the way, let's get started. At number 1 today, we have New Warriors, a lost TV pilot circa 2006 to 2018. Marvel's New Warriors is an unaired American television pilot created and written by Kevin Beagle for Freeform based on the Marvel Comics superhero team of the same name. It was intended to be set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the MCU, and acknowledge the continuity of the franchise's films and other television series. The pilot was produced by ABC Signature Studios and Marvel Television. The pilot stars Milana Vayntrub as Doreen Green, aka Squirrel Girl, and Derek Theller as Craig Hollis, aka Mr. Immortal, who make up the New Warriors along with Jeremy Tardy, Callum Worthy, Matthew Moy, Kate Comer. You Marvel fans out there might recognize that both Doreen Green and Craig Hollis are actually not members of the New Warriors, but rather are members of the Great Lakes Avengers. But this series would have the young group learn to cope with their new abilities in a terrifying world. By August 2016, Marvel Television had developed a series centered on the New Warriors and began offering it to cable networks and streaming outlets. In April of 2017, New Warriors received a series order of 10 episodes from Freeform, with Beagle joining as showrunner and writing the first script. The pilot had been produced by November of 2017. The show was planned to premiere in 2018 on Freeform and had the potential to launch multiple spin-off series based on each of the New Warriors characters. However, by November of 2017, the network no longer had room in its schedule to begin airing the series in 2018, and returned it to Marvel Television Studios so they could shop the series to other Disney-owned networks. These efforts were ultimately unsuccessful, and the series was officially considered dead by the end of 2019. The premise was listed as 6 superpowered young people with offbeat powers different from the Avengers want to make a positive impact in the world, even if they are not quite ready to be heroes. As stated previously, the show would have had Squirrel Girl and Mr. Immortal, as well as Night Thrasher, Speedball, Microbe, and Debris. The style of the show was going to be a half-hour comedy series, and it has been said that the idea for the series was created after the success of other young adult-related shows such as Cloak and Dagger and The Runaways. Despite the fact that supposedly the pilot tested through the roof with audiences, Beagle has stated that the most likely reason for the show's cancellation was that the pilot had strong LGBTQ themes, and he believed that an executive had prevented it from being made due to it being too gay. Despite this, Marvel has said they were fully supportive of the show, and it was only canceled after various distributors had passed on the series. While the character Mr. Immortal would eventually make an appearance in the She-Hulk Attorney-at-Law show on Disney+, he was now portrayed by David Pasquesi, and thus far the other characters have yet to make their MCU debut. This one, this one, for me, it hurts personally that this one is lost because I am a huge fan of obscure Marvel characters. Also, cards on the table, Milana Vayntrub as Squirrel Girl, hot as hell. Sorry that never got to be seen on screen, really. But overall, I would just love to see Marvel be able to explore some of their lesser known characters and give them the, time on the silver screen or the TV screen that they deserve, rather than just going for all the big names. I definitely think Ant-Man has shown us that a somewhat obscure character to the general public can be very, very successful. So I really wish this had gotten made, but I would love it if at least the pilot was available to be seen. But as of right now, it has not surfaced, so maybe someday. At number 2, we have the Aladdin Deck Enhancer, partially found games for the NES peripheral from 1993. Now, the Aladdin Deck Enhancer is a peripheral created by Camerica and Codemasters in 1992 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Created by Richard Darling, the add-on allows software from compact cartridges to be played on the NES. The peripheral is noted to be extremely rare due to a limited run and it not being endorsed by Nintendo. Most of the original versions sold were found in a New Jersey store called Video Game Connections in 1996. 24 games were announced at Winter CES 1993 at booth number 6329, with only 7 being released: Dizzy the Adventurer, Micro Machines, Fantastic Adventures of Dizzy, Quattro Sports, Quattro Adventure, Linus Spacehead's Cosmic Crusade, and Big Nose Freaks Out. As to the unreleased games, the next 3 quarters of releases in 1993 featured previously released games made without the enhancer, along with completely original games. Dream World Pogi is currently the only dumped game, while Adventure World Dizzy is theorized to be an early name for the dumped Wonderland Dizzy. So of the titles we know of, there are currently several that are lost, including B-52, CJ's Elephant Antics, Team Sports Basketball, Stunt Kids, Big Nose the Caveman, Metal Man, F-16 Renegade, Dizzy Pinball, Puzzled, Adventure World Dizzy, 5-Pack Sports, and 5-Pack Dizzy. The games that have since been found were Go Dizzy Go, The Ultimate Stuntman, which was released in Europe, MiG-29 Soviet Fighter also was released in Europe, Dream World Pogi has been found, as well as Firehawk, which was also released in Europe. This one is interesting to me just because I love anything from like the Wild West era of video games, where there were all these people trying to get some of that sweet resurgence, because, the video game market crashed. Then it started to have a resurgence with Nintendo, and, everybody wanted in on it, but Nintendo was also very, they held it very close to the chest due to the previous issues with video games, but that didn't keep people from trying, and I think some of that stuff, while the games aren't the best, it's still pretty interesting. At number 3, we have All Dogs Go to Heaven, partially found deleted scenes of animated film from 1989. All Dogs Go to Heaven is a 1989 animated feature directed and produced by Don Bluth. It is also one of my favorite movies from childhood. The film is about a dog named Charlie B. Barkin who is double-crossed and killed by his friend and ex-partner, Carface. He is sent to heaven but ultimately returns to Earth, where he reunites with another friend, Itchy Itchford, and ends up meeting an orphan girl named Anne Marie, who ends up changing the way he thinks and acts. While the film didn't do well critically due to being released on the same day as The Little Mermaid, as well as generally being poorly received due to its writing and overwhelmingly dark themes for a children's movie, which is a Don Bluth staple, it did very well on home media releases, inspired several sequels, and is regarded as a cultural classic, because it is one. In the initial test screenings, there were multiple scenes and pieces of dialogue that were ultimately cut from the film, mostly due to said scenes and dialogue being deemed too dark or intense for a movie. 2 known scenes that were cut include the main character Charlie being hit by a car, of which only the aftermath is shown in the official release, and a longer sequence of Charlie's nightmare of hell. As for the dialogue, most of the material that was cut had minor cursing. However, during the song Let Me Be Surprised, one moment of cursing was partially left in by accident, as Charlie is clearly animated to say, "Damn that Carface, I'll kill him." But he doesn't say the swear. The damn was left intact in the vinyl soundtrack, however. Now, where are these full cuts now? Well, Don Bluth reportedly owned a full cut of the film on 35mm film and had plans to get Goldcrest Films, one of the film's production companies, to release a director's cut in the mid-1990s after returning from Ireland. Shortly after, despite being locked up in a storage room, the print was stolen from him. The fate of this particular copy is unknown, though it's likely either been damaged, destroyed, or thrown away. As for Goldcrest Films' potential copies of the cuts, they did not save any of the original art, and according to co-director and producer Gary Goldman, most of the cells and backgrounds were destroyed or taken to the dump in the UK due to storing them in optimal conditions, costing too much money. Now, there has been a few developments in this one. Now, during the summer of 2016, Tumblr user SteamRunner went to a summer art program. One of Don Bluth Studios' animators happened to teach animation at said program, where she actually showed the entire uncut nightmare scene, despite seemingly all cuts of the film featuring deleted scenes being destroyed or stolen. One of her friends happened to find the whole scene, albeit without a score, in an archive and, in turn, burned it onto 3 discs, one for Bluth, one for the animator, and one for himself. She then decided to show her class the scene, at which point SteamRunner recorded it with her phone and finally uploaded the video to Tumblr on June 23rd. The discovery of this scene implies that there are either some full cuts of the film left, or that individual scenes were archived. At least one further deleted shot from the hell sequence that would have included a close-up of the skeleton demon was cut from the final version of the scene and was not present in the recovered footage uploaded by SteamRunner. This brief shot likely would have occurred after Charlie howls in pain due to the demons biting him, and directly before the shot of Charlie jumping in reaction to something off-screen that had clearly frightened him. This missing shot's existence was verified after several original production cells of the scene surfaced online. Again, I love this movie, and one of the things I do love about it is that even as a very little kid, again, I was born in 1988 and I had All Dogs Go to Heaven on VHS as a kid, it was a very dark film in many parts. It was heartwarming, but it was also dark, which was something Don Bluth did a lot and didn't shy away from. And as 90s kids, we were not sheltered. We saw the dark stuff. And I think that is definitely why some of the, trends that 90s kids are into, both in their teens and even now, exist, is because we were exposed to these themes. And I think that was very, very cool. It was a very cool time to be growing up. And so the fact that there was like, no, I mean, Bluth, we know you do this, but this is too dark. The fact that there are a couple things missing from one of my favorite films. I would love to see a full cut of this film in its intended glory, even though what we got in the end was pretty glorious. At number 4, we have Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2041, lost production material of a cancelled anime series from the 2000s. Now, following the success of the 1998 to 2000 anime series Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040, which was itself a reimagining of the 1987 OVA series simply titled Bubblegum Crisis, an announcement was made by the now defunct ADV Films, producers of the aforementioned Tokyo 2040, in late 2002 that a follow-up series had been put into pre-production, aptly titled Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2041, and that it was to be marketed to investors at France's MIPCOM trade show of the same year. Not a great deal of information on the series has come to light, though it was revealed that 26 episodes had been scheduled for production, each with a runtime of 25 minutes, not unlike its predecessor. Now, at 2007's Anime Central convention, ADV co-founder Matt Greenfield revealed that the series had been put on hold in an effort to try and have all of the key staff members from Tokyo 2040 reprise their respective roles, and that prior commitments of said staff members were the reason for the series' delay. Now, due to the dissolution of ADV Films in late 2009, it is assumed by most, though technically never officially confirmed, that the series has been shelved indefinitely. As of this video, none of the production materials for the show have ever been released whatsoever. Now, I have never seen Bubblegum Crisis, though I have heard good things, but this one is very interesting because it's, it's of a popular property, but there's so little known, and it's just kind of, an ultimate what could have been, and it's just left to your imagination to think what this show would have been, and I think that it makes for a pretty compelling piece of lost media. Alright guys, here's the part of the show where between the fourth piece and the final fifth spicy piece that I beg you for a little bit of your time and maybe a little bit of your money. Again, we are a small channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're getting real close to 900 at the time of this video, so I definitely think we're going to make it. But you can definitely help by liking, commenting, subscribing if you haven't already, because all of these things help the algorithm and help this video get shown in a lot more people's For You pages. Also, this channel was originally created as a way for me to get some free advertising for my other business, Chimera Miniatures. I know, I thought this was Chimera Miniatures. Well, yes it is, but originally it started as the name of my company, where I make custom miniatures that I sell on eBay and Mercari. Again, I sell fantasy, sci-fi, even not safe for work miniatures. Whatever you desire, Chimera Miniatures can make a one-of-a-kind miniature for you. We do actually also take commissions. I'm currently working on a commission of like 20 different custom minis as we speak. So, that's something I can definitely do if you have a character in mind and you're like, hey, they don't really have a mini that meets this character, but I'd really like one. Well, just give me a message in my email and I'd be happy to help you out. You can also, of course, join the Patreon or become a YouTube channel member. Again, every bit helps. Joining the $1 a month tier gets you access to all of my members' exclusive content. Joining the $5 tier of either will get your name on a list of scrolling names at the end of every video. And the $10 tier gets you a shout out on top of the other things. So, join the tier that is right for you. But, all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and let's get to that fifth and final spicy piece of media. So at number 5, our spicy piece today is In the Distance, Lost Unreleased Yasuko Endo single. Trigger warning, as this one does feature mentions of self-unaliving. So Yasuko Endo was a Japanese model and actress who was set to debut as a singer under contract with Pony Canyon record label. Her first single, In the Distance, and B-side was a song called Telephone, was scheduled for release in May of 1986. On March 29, 1986, Yasuko Endo committed suicide by leaping off the roof of her Tokyo apartment building. Pony Canyon canceled plans for the single release and reportedly destroyed all copies in their possession. A promotion was already underway for the single. Several magazines had printed reviews, so it is likely that copies survived even if Pony Canyon destroyed the master copy and all unreleased pressings. However, any recording of the single and the B-side have yet to surface. A cover of In the Distance was recorded by Tetsuo Sakurai, who produced the song for Yasuko and was included on his album Dewdrops. Now, I first heard about this one on the Sakura Stardust channel, which is another great lost media and just Japanese culture in general channel here on YouTube. I highly recommend you check her out. But this one always struck me as odd because it was like, okay, this person died right before making her debut. Now, I understand the idea, we don't want to profit off the death of somebody. However, this was her last thing she had ever created. The content in and of itself was not offensive, and you'd already given it to reviewers who had given the album positive reviews, meaning that people wanted this even before her life ended, and it was just a little bit rude to go, nope, sorry, can't have it now because she died, and you're just leaving people wanting. I can't claim to understand the mind of a Japanese record label, but I feel like they could have, I don't know, discounted it or something, but still released it in a way that wasn't just like a money grab, or I don't know, there's any number of ways they could have released this in a way that would not have lost them really any more money than they already lost destroying, by not releasing it at all. They still could have released it. They could have been like, it's a super discounted price. We're going to give it away free and like a giveaway to fans, whatever. But the fact that they just got rid of it the way they did, I think was, one, irresponsible from a business standpoint, and two, kind of disrespectful, but that's just me. What really surprises me more, though, is that after they did that, none of the people that they had given advance copies to ever released it, even secretly. And that's the video, guys. Thank you for tuning in to volume 57 of Lesser Known Lost Media. I can't believe we've done almost 60 of these already. Be sure to leave your suggestions for obscure lost media in the comments. Be sure to give this video a like. We're still trying to get a video up to 100 likes, as that's something the channel has yet to do, so please help with that. And also, please subscribe if you haven't already. Share the video around. Get this to as many people as possible if you enjoyed it. Help this channel grow. And again, you can also contribute by going to eBay or Mercari, or joining the Patreon or becoming a YouTube member, as well as just giving a one-time PayPal donation. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and until next time, I'm Mr. Sean, this is Chimera Miniatures, and I sincerely hope that you alpha great day and an even beta tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the show, we hope you'll stick around. Mr. Sean is here to entertain the crowd. We've got a bit of everything, cause everything's allowed. Chimera Miniatures is here to stay, we hope we make you proud. Welcome to the show, we hope you'll stick around. Mr. Sean is here to entertain the crowd. We've got a bit of everything, cause everything's allowed. Chimera Miniatures is here to stay, we hope we make you proud.